By day, he's an OBGYN, whilst dedicated to bringing new life into the world. But when night falls, he transforms into a predator, specifically targeting women. He doesn't even have to hunt, though, because his prey comes willingly to his door. They're young women facing unwanted pregnancies, terrified of their families finding out, so they secretly seek him out for abortions. But what these desperate women don't realize is that he secretly records their procedures. He then uses these videos as leverage, blackmailing them. Paralyzed by fear, they often have no choice but to comply with his demands, completely at his mercy. But eventually, even this isn't enough to satisfy his twisted desires. One night, he sets his sights on a new target, a blind young woman. This young woman wasn't always blind. She used to be a police officer. A tragic car accident had taken the life of her only brother and robbed her of her sight. One day, while waiting alone at a bus stop, no bus arrived, but a private car pulled up instead. The driver claimed to be a taxi driver, and without giving it much thought, she got in. Once inside, however, she felt something wasn't right. The driver was overly solicitous, offering her water and a towel. She smelled the water bottle and detected a strange odor. The driver grew insistent, urging her to drink, but she repeatedly refused. In the midst of their struggle, there was a sudden impact. The car hit something. The driver quickly got out to check the damage. Seizing the opportunity, the woman pushed open her door and tried to escape, but he intercepted her. He insisted it was just a dog, nothing serious. Skeptical, she reached out and felt the car. How could a dog cause enough damage to shatter the windshield? She immediately reached for her phone to call the police. Realizing he couldn't maintain the lie, the driver furiously slapped the phone out of her hand and tried to shove her back into the vehicle. Drawing on her police training, she instinctively countered, managing to restrain him. At that exact moment, another car approached from behind. Seeing the headlights, the driver shoved her aside, jumped back into his car, and sped away from the scene. The woman went straight to the police station to file a report. However, the officer on duty, noting she was blind, seemed inclined to quickly dismiss her story and close the case. He was completely unprepared for her next words, which left him utterly stunned. She revealed that she too was a police officer. Learning this instantly changed the situation. The police immediately issued a public appeal, offering a substantial cash reward for any information leading to the man's identification or arrest. It wasn't long before a young delivery driver showed up at the station. He identified himself as an eyewitness, explaining that while he was out making a delivery, he'd been knocked off his scooter by a private car. The driver, far from apologizing, had yelled curses at him before speeding away. However, the blind woman remained adamant that her assailant had been driving a taxi, contradicting the delivery driver's account of a private car. Suspecting the young man was desperate for money and trying to fraudulently claim the reward, the police dismissed his statement and sent him away. But no sooner had the delivery driver left the police station than he was ambushed by the very man he'd tried to report. The attacker picked up a brick, clearly intending to silence him permanently. Fortunately, a neighbor heard the struggle and flipped on an outdoor light, interrupting the assault. The delivery driver narrowly escaped with his life. Meanwhile, back home, the blind woman replayed the incident in her mind. A crucial detail surfaced. She remembered the distinct feel of leather seats in the car. Standard taxis rarely have such luxurious upholstery. Suddenly, it clicked. The delivery driver hadn't been lying. The evidence was mounting. Her assailant hadn't been driving a taxi at all, but a private vehicle. This meant the man who tried to kidnap her and the man who attacked the delivery driver were one and the same.